Mr. President, I move we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign, and the motion passes. Zach?
Good morning. So next item on the agenda rather is we have 3 contracts. First is from Hoffman, Lemon, Masson. Did a review, I think, one of about $10 an hour. Is that correct, Doug?
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
From 225 to 235.
Yeah. So did review the rest of it. Everything looks in order. So that's the change from 2025 to 2026. I'd recommend approval as presented.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes.
And then the next contract is for Christopher B. Burke Engineering LLC. I believe their rates went up $5 an hour across the board, and everything else in the contract is consistent with the 2025 contract. I'd recommend approval as presented.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and that motion passes.
And then the next contract is for BF&S Incorporated. I believe their fees, generally speaking, went up about $2 to $4 an hour across the board. And Michelle and I spoke earlier this morning. It is consistent with the County Highway Department contract that they also have. I would recommend approval as presented.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and the motion passes. Projects?
Yep, very well. So next on the agenda is the Circle K gas station in Romney, Indiana. I believe someone from McFarland and Johnson is here to present this morning. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
There's a little red button you need to push right in the front. Thank you.
Good morning. Adam Frasino with McFarland Johnson, I'm a PE and the engineer of record for the project. So just high-level overview. It's a proposed Circle K gas station and convenience store, 4,000 square feet, 12 gasoline stations, and 3 diesel fueling stations. It's currently an underutilized commercial corner, plus some additional residential lots that will be combined for the site plan and development. I have Justin here, and he'll explain a little further. He was the design engineer for the drainage.
Yeah, so we did detention on the site. The existing discharge was on the northwest corner to a ditch that eventually goes to Weah Creek into the Wabash River Basin. We submitted our project through Burke Engineering and got their recommendation for approval.
Very good. Thank you. Just real quick, for the Drainage Board members and public and potentially any citizens that lives in the neighborhood, one of the things I want to point out is that the Dollar General store, maybe that's not going to work. I use my mouse. So if you can see the black arrow here on the screen, moving in a circular manner. This is the Dollar General store that's located there in Romney. Their stormwater discharge is in a pipe conveyance, and when it went through Drainage Board a few years ago, it basically comes through the proposed site that we're looking at here today. If you're following my cursor, generally speaking, the pipe goes out in this direction and discharges in to the Weah Creek. My understanding, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, yourself and your client has worked with the Dollar General, and that storm sewer has been picked up and routed around your site, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Can you talk just a little bit about that? Because I want to make sure that's on record, so if anybody has any questions.
Oh, no, you're good. So, yeah, so it did streak across our property. We picked it up, rerouted it, and established a new easement for them in their maintenance, maintained positive drainage, and they still discharge in the same location. Right,
very good. I just wanted to make sure it was clear that had been dealt with and routed around your site, and their site will go ahead and continue to drain, and no harm will be done to them. So Other than that, they are, as he said, the detention basins are on the west side of the site, as you can see, and it discharges into the Weall Creek. So I'm happy to answer any questions, but I'd recommend approval as presented. And we do have a construction approval memo on this.
Any questions from the board?
No.
Anyone from the public like to comment about the project? Seeing none?
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we grant construction approval for the Circle K Romney project per the Burke memo dated October 29th, 25.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And the motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thanks, gentlemen. Appreciate you coming this morning.
Oh, quick question.
Yeah.
For our maintenance agreement that we need recorded, where do we go to,
The record, well, first of all,
is the
it's
stormwater?
on the, first of all, it's further down on the agenda.
Sorry.
Well, I want you to understand what's going to happen. So when we get down to other business on this agenda, I'll recommend approval of that agreement to the board. Assuming they approve it, then you guys hang out, they'll sign it after the meeting's over, and then work with Tara. And the recorder's office is on the second floor of this building. You'll want to go there and get it recorded.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you
You
very
should be able
much.
to get it all done today. I know you're from out of town, and you probably want to get it all taken care of today.
If possible, that'd be great.
I'm with you.
All
So
right,
we will help to accomplish that as much as we can, okay?
Okay,
Yep.
sounds great. Thank you very much for your help.
Very well. Next on the agenda is the Forever Grace Church expansion. I believe someone from VS is here to present. Good morning.
Hello, my name is David Marquardt with VS Engineering. I was the professional engineer and designer on the project. I'm here on behalf of our clients, Sheffer Construction and Forever Grace Church. Some key elements of the project. This is kind of a master plan, as the church has one expansion planned in this project, and then we'll, at some point in the future, do another expansion off that. So we designed the drainage for that proposed secondary expansion. The pond is a little bit larger than expected because we had to redirect some flow from the south towards the outlet to the north, the culvert under Jackson Highway. There was just no feasible outlet towards the south. So we've over-designed the pond to accommodate that. We've received and addressed comments from the Surveyor's Office review. Those are addressed in this current plan set. And the last item is we are currently coordinating with County Highway for that eastern entrance onto Jackson Highway. They wanted to add tapers to those entrances, which would have made the drive slope too steep to safely drive up and down. So we are currently coordinating with County Highway, the owner, and the builder to see if we can just take off that entrance and address those comments by removing the entrance. Thank you for your time. I'm happy to answer any questions. On behalf of our clients, we respectfully ask for your approval.
Very well, thank you. Just a point of clarification. If I understood you correctly, there's going to be this expansion, and then the detention pond is sized for an additional expansion later, right?
That's correct.
Okay, I just want to make sure it was clear on that. I thought that was the case. I just want to make sure it was clear for the record. So as he pointed out, the Forever Grace Church is located in Mount Morenci in Tippecanoe County, at the corner of 650, County Road 650 West and Jackson Highway. I'm sure many of you know where it is located. It's been there for many, many years. So the church is wanting to do an expansion to the chapel and then a parking lot expansion. So as David mentioned, they're going to build a detention basin here in the very northern corner of this triangular shaped property. And it is going to be built for future expansion that discharges into the roadside ditch and then drains down to the creek just to the east. So happy to answer any questions. We do have a construction approval memo, so I would recommend approval as presented.
Could you explain your east entrance again a little bit? You're looking at eliminating that entrance?
That's correct.
So it'll be the one entrance there on the west side then?
That's correct.
Good.
Any other questions?
Just on a totally unrelated matter, is anyone from the church with you today?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Is there any way you could provide us with contact information for somebody from the church in regard to something totally unrelated to this project?
Yes.
That would be helpful. Thank you.
Is there anyone from the public who would like to comment on the project?
Mr. President, I move that we approve construction approval for the Forever Church with the Burke memo dated 11/26.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And the motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very well. Moving right along, next category is bonds. First, we have a maintenance bond for the Greater Lafayette Kennel Club, number 9131465, in the amount of $48,000. Recommend approval as presented.
I'll make a motion, we approve the maintenance bond as outlined.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And that motion passes.
Next, we have a maintenance bond for Barrington Lake, Section 3, number 1118917, in the amount of $39,233.70. This is from Atlas Excavating. I'd recommend approval as presented.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion passes.
Very well. Next, we have the Stormwater Management BMP Maintenance Agreement. This is for the Circle K gas station that the gentleman was referring to earlier. I'd recommend approval as presented.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And that motion passes.
And then next, we have the addendum 1 to the interagency agreement. I think Mr. Masson will discuss this.
Yeah. This is an addendum to the interagency agreement you did with respect to the ARPA funds. If you recall, last year, the commissioners obligated a specific amount of the ARPA funds to the Drainage Board as part of meeting their deadlines under the Treasury regulations for that. Since then, the commissioners have bid out the project for the Buck Creek Colburn wastewater project, and those bids came in higher than what you had available, and so they initiated a BOT process in the hopes of getting the project completed for the amount of money you have. And so what this does is it has the Drainage Board endorsing that BOT process. It has the Drainage Board charging the commissioners with administering contracts and anything else they need to do under the BOT project, and making the money the Drainage Board has available to fund operations under that project. And so that's what the first part of the addendum, well, I guess the second part, I did it backward. That's the most important part. The second part has to do with, because you're both involved, it has to do with setting minimum compensation for right-of-way acquisition. And this is something we got from the Highway Department, which copies NDOT process. It sets $500 as the floor for acquiring easements and such. Normally what you're trying to do is pinpoint the value of the property and pay just compensation for that. Once you get below $500, I think the sense is that you can set sort of a de minimis amount, that it's not worth pinpointing that lower amount, and recognizing that landowners aren't going to want to jump through the hoops for, if it's worth $75, they're probably not going to want to bother. So it allows you to set a floor, and here it just sets that floor at $500. They still have the option of donating, which some might want to do, but so that's generally what it does. It does those two things, charges the commissioners with administering the bot project and makes the money available, and then it also sets that minimum compensation.
Any questions for Doug?
I'll make a motion, we approve the addendum to the interagency agreement.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And the motion passes.
Very good. Next item is the approval of the Drainage Board meeting dates for 2026. I know we've discussed this, and we've, I think, vetted it fairly well, so I would recommend approval as presented.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And that motion passes.
Next, we have the resolution number 2025-05-DB, recommending amendment of uniform fee schedule. I did send this out to the Drainage Board members several weeks ago. I did get some comments, spoke with each one of you. I also sent it out to the local design community and the Local Builders Association of Greater Lafayette, to Mary Ellis particularly, and I know Mary sent it out to their membership. They did get a few comments back. Mary did call me. Had a nice conversation on the phone with Mary. She asked me a few questions, and I provided answers to those. They were fairly general, so nothing of any mountainous, non-overcoming issues. So I think this has been vetted by all the stakeholders here locally, and I've addressed any questions that have come to me to this point in time, and if there's others, I'll be happy to try to address them. Generally speaking, I kind of want to go over the history of this document so everybody understands, and it's in the meeting minutes, but in 2005, when the county surveyor's office took over reviewing sediment erosion control plans, which had historically been done by the local SWCD office at that point in time, and there was a law change at the state level that basically any construction site that had historically been 5 acres or more required a sediment erosion control plan, or what historically was called a Rule 5 permit. That law changed. Instead of 5 acres or more, it went down to 1 acre or more, and when that went to that threshold of 1 acre or more of earth disturbance, that's when the county surveyor's office took over reviewing what's called the SWIP, Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan, and sediment erosion control plans. And those fees were established at that time. They're locally, we call them Phase 2 fees, and it's to review those plans, have the staff on board, and then also review those sites during active construction and then post-construction. And so those fees that were set in 2005 have not been changed since 2005. So we're 20 years down the road and with no increases on those fees. The next group of fees that was created in 2016 is called the drainage review fees. And those fees, as I stated, were set in 2016 and have not been adjusted since that time. So we're going on 10 years on those fees without any cost of inflation adjustments or anything of that nature. And so if you remember, those fees were put in place to set a transparent list of fees for drainage review on development projects, residential, commercial, industrial, whatever the case may be, and to so that we could publish those fees, and the developers and the home builders and any other users would know what it would cost them to have their project reviewed before it was ever submitted. So that process became very transparent. The fees were very transparent. I've had nothing but good feedback on that process. And matter of fact, I was just in a meeting a couple months ago with an out-of-town developer who verbally complimented us on that process and wished that other locales would do the same thing. So that I have had good feedback. And we had a lot of complaints before we established those fees, and so I think that's been good overall. So with that said, we're 20 years down the road on the first group of fees, 10 years down the road on the second group of fees. With the inflation that has incurred in the last couple, 2 or 3 years in our country, what we have noticed is that over the last 10, 20 years, we have been breaking pretty much even on a year-to-year date, which was the goal when we set these fees up. The last 2 years, Tara and I have run the budget numbers, and last year we were about 10,000 in the red, which is way less than what we've ever been before. And so this year we're projected to be somewhere between about $13,000, $15,000 in the red or below the break even. And so I see that doing nothing but continue to grow. So the point being is that I think it's time to adjust these fees, and I have done so. I used the inflation calculator through the federal government to adjust these. And basically, if you look at the before and the proposed, they're about 20 to 25% adjusted for inflation. So I'm happy to answer any questions. That's the story. I'd recommend approval as presented.
Any questions for Zach? Any questions from the public? Okay.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve Resolution 2025-05-DB.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And the motion passes.
Very well. Next on the agenda is a petition for reduction of the drainage easement on the John Bowes County Regulated Drain. This is just north of Cowborough Road on County Farm or North Salisbury. It is a site owned by Steve Schrecken Gas. They're basically petitioning to reduce the easement from 75 foot, which is the statutory easement, down to 30 foot, which this board has historically done on many sites. I do have the petition. I have reviewed it. I have been in communication with the owner and the designer. I see no problems with it. As I said, it's consistent with what this board has done historically, so I'd recommend approval as presented. Happy to answer any questions.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And that motion passes.
I have no further business today.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone early.
Do you want to do
Yeah.
public comment?
Public comment?